this is Gareth. Today I'm going to explain why I believe that the UK Parliament and particularly the UK government is determined to push through the regulation of all crypto assets, or certainly a broad range of crypto assets. And the reason I've come to this conclusion, which I will lay out here in this video, is really looking at a chronology of events which, if you know what you're looking for, and a lot of this is common sense to be honest, if you know what you're looking for, then sometimes things jump out at you and they don't quite add up on first sight. So I'm going to go through a chronology of events, and the upshot of this video is, as I've said, it's quite simple. Britain, for whatever reason, is wanting to be in a position where it is able to regulate crypto assets, and they want to be in that position as soon as possible. So the starting point is this: 13th July 2022, Treasury Committee launches inquiry into crypto assets. This doesn't sound particularly exciting, and to be honest, on its own, it's not particularly exciting, as is the case with a lot of this sort of thing. The important points to consider at this stage are that the Treasury is one of the most powerful departments in the British government, so if it lays down a timetable, it's pretty hard to get them to change that timetable. If any government department launches an inquiry into a policy area, usually the logic applied is that before something is introduced into law, the inquiry should end. All sounds like common sense, and it all is common sense. And up until this point, if it was still 13th July 2022, probably nobody would be seeing a story, and that's understandable. In my first video, for some of you who have watched my other materials, the Financial Services and Markets Bill is currently going through Parliament, and this is significant. And if you look, the first reading, it was kicked off on 20th July 2022. And for those of you who follow this sort of thing closely, you'll know that the original bill only intended to regulate stablecoins, and there was no indication really that that would change. It was quite an interesting summer and autumn in British politics. Obviously the Queen died, longest serving British monarch ever. Also, we had two prime ministers in quick succession, so those are just facts. So there were probably bigger things or more immediate things to worry about in British politics and policy and that sort of thing over the summer. However, by October, and by 27th October, as Reuters points out here, Britain proposes regulation of all crypto assets. And as I went through in my first video, this bill effectively now contains a broad category of crypto assets which, if it goes through unamended, will regulate a broad category of crypto assets. So again, you might be thinking, so what? And fair question. My answer to that question is, let's go back here. This whole process was still ongoing. And okay, deadline for accepting evidence was 21st September 2022, but there were still formal meetings going on up until November and December. Yet this bill, from 27th October, as was widely reported, did introduce crypto assets more widely than stablecoins. So whichever way you dice this up, the British government has jumped ahead of the Treasury. Why? Well, I don't know. I'm not pretending to know, but what I can say is it is a significant thing, and again, it's not an official government position, but you don't often see people altering the Treasury's plans or timetables, so it is significant that the UK government is pushing this through faster than certainly the Treasury had originally intended. So that to me makes it clear that the UK government is determined to regulate a broad range of crypto assets as soon as possible. And my prediction is that in 2023, it's 31st December 2022 today, in 2023, crypto assets will be regulated by Easter 2023. That's my prediction. So there it is. That's significant, as I've said. It's not the only story here. This is, well, what I'm about to point to isn't the main part of this video, but if we look at the formal meetings, the one that took place, oral evidence to the Treasury Committee, the one that took place in November, so 14th November, this is publicly available. Look at the names here of the people who give evidence to the Parliamentary Committee. And look at this: Susan Friedman, Ripple. Now, if you're a part of the XRP army, as they like to call themselves, this must be an enormous thing. Because, well, let's face it, Ripple are being sued in America by the SEC, but are being asked to the top table by the British Parliament. So that's a story in itself. If you want to watch that meeting, then I'll put links in the description, but you can actually watch the entire discussion in this link, and it's hopefully available in the country you're in, wherever you're in. But it's a long meeting, but it's a very interesting discussion, probably outside the scope of this video. But if you're interested in the regulatory crypto asset progress, then I would strongly suggest that you watch this if you've got time. I know people are busy and that sort of thing. Anyway, that's it. I hope you found this useful. It would be great if you could like and subscribe to my channel, like this video. It helps with the YouTube algorithms. And I wish you all a happy new year. I'll be making further content as soon as I can next year, and the focus will be on the development of the law in relation to crypto in the UK. Okay, thank you very much.